you for joining me. Welcome to TJ's Maths Clinic. In today's presentation, we continue with our lesson on coordinate geometry 1. In today's lesson, we are looking at gradient and angle of slope. The word gradient means slope. So we are looking at the concept of this angle of slope and the gradient. Let's look at the concept. The gradient of a line is defined as the ratio. When we take a ratio of a line, what we have is the gradient. Let's say let that gradient or the slope be m. It will be increase in y divided by increase along the x-axis. Increase along the y-axis divided by increase along the x-axis. Very important. Let's look at a Cartesian plane. When we have a Cartesian plane, whereby we have x-axis and y-axis like this. Okay? Suppose we have a straight line here, which is P, and we have another line here that is Q. At this point P, we have x1, y1. Then at this point Q, we have x2, y2. If I decide to draw another line here, I may decide to label this place as R. I can find the slope of line P to Q, given that this will be x2 and of course this will be x1. The distance from P to R is nothing but x2 minus x1. Very important. Okay? The same thing here, the distance from R to Q is nothing but y2 minus y1. Very important. Suppose we say let m be the slope of line PQ. If m is the slope of line PQ, then we can say m will now be equals to P to R, PQR, length QR divided by length P to R, PR. So we can deduce that the slope m, the formula for slope now m, will be equals to QR. QR is change in y, which is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Or we can write this as delta y by delta x. That delta means change in y with respect to change in x. Very important. So this is the formula for when we are asked to find a slope of a straight line. Let's look at the concept of angular of slope. When we are asked to find the angular slope of a straight line. Suppose we have angular of slope now. Suppose we have a Cartesian plane like this. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. Suppose we have a straight line like this. The angle that this straight line will make with the positive x-axis is what we call angular of slope. Let's say here is alpha, and this point here is point P. Then we have another straight line here, and let's say here is R, and here is Q. Very important. Line PQ will make an angle with the positive x-axis, that is alpha. Let me move here to look at the concept of angular slope. We can say line PQ will make an angle alpha with the positive x-axis. Okay, what are we saying? From here, this is our opposite because this is a right angle triangle, and P to R is our adjacent. So when we use the knowledge of trig, that's trigonometric, we know that tan alpha now, which is tan is opposite of adjacent. Opposite now is QR, length QR now, divided by length PR. And this will be our slope. Realize that QR is the same as M, which is the slope of this line P to Q. So we can conclude that to find the angular slope or angular of slope, M is nothing but tan alpha. So this is the formula for angular of slope. Anytime you are asked to find angular of slope, we use M, which is the slope now, equal tan alpha, where alpha is the angle that line PQ or a straight line makes with the horizontal x-axis, which is the positive x-axis now. So this is the formula for angular of slope. In my next video, we'll look at how we can use these two key formulas to solve as many questions as we can from this topic, coordinate geometry. Thank you for watching. Please do share this to your learned colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe to TJ's Maths Clinic for more interesting and amazing videos. You can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you for joining me. See you in my next video.